Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Well, I'm gonna try to turn my light on so you can possibly see me here.
Okay.
Man, I don't know why. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to get on because I
Sure.
live here.
You
I
live
live,
in Wilmington, Delaware.
matter of fact, I'm the one who introduced the schools. Do you hear an echo?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm the one who introduced Dr. Umar Johnson to the schools and
Okay.
the maker of the schools.
Okay.
So,
Wow. So you have a lot of good information then.
yeah, I was trying to see because when I first seen what you were trying heard what you were trying to do, I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was a good idea. I wanted to know what your vision was so I can contact some people here because here's the problem. You're going to need Delaware behind you. And that to me is one of the biggest problems that he had. He would have events, and the only people that would come from Delaware would be the people that I bring there to
I
his
see.
event. So when I heard him say that the community was not involved, I'm like, how is the community? Let me try to turn one of these light on. Excuse me, my quiet. That still probably don't light it up enough. But how is he going to say the community did not assist him when he's not involved in the community?
Yes.
You know, you have to involve yourself. It's a lot of people. See, Wilmington is small, and the
Oh yeah.
people that
I mean, hell, Delaware is small.
yeah, it's small, but where we live at is really small, and the people here are like family net.
Okay.
So I told him from the beginning, you have to involve the people here in Wilmington, you know what I mean, to make this all come to fruition. This would have been done.
When you say this
So
would have been done, are you
the
talking
school would
about
have been
the?
open. The
Okay.
school would have been open, but things happened that caused it to be a negative atmosphere for him. The
Hmm.
positiveness where everybody was so, I had a couple events with him and everything. So I was kind of promoting him here to Delaware. You know what I'm saying? We were all
When you
excited
say
about
Delaware, you're talking about like the people, the citizens of Delaware, not necessarily the government.
right. But even the mayor, everybody would have been involved. The person he has for city council for that particular area is wonderful. Her
Okay.
name is Anthea Oliver. She is in everything. Like she has events all the time. She would have involved herself, but
Mhm.
different things took place and it kind of like messed it up for him in a
Okay.
sense. So
Mhm.
I wanted you to know that I don't know how you're trying to come in, or even if you even need him, because I made some phone calls
I
already.
appreciate it. Okay.
I'm going to let you know that I made some phone calls to find out what really was needed, if that much money was really needed,
Yes.
was anything, because you had already said, I heard you when you said I'm not putting no money in his hand.
Correct.
You'll be putting money in the city's hands. You
Yeah.
understand what
So
I'm saying? 'Cause he don't owe nothing for the I believe I was told his county amount is already paid up.
mhm,
I think it's overpaid from my understanding.
mhm.
Okay. But the other money is due. But here's the situation. Were you, because you know where, have you ever been to the schools? Do you know where they are?
No, and that's one of the things that I'd have to check out. But what I was really curious about, what I've been
Mhm.
hearing, and I'll get back onto your train of thought. But since I
Yeah.
have you here, is I
100.
heard that the land was contaminated. And that's something that I hadn't previously heard. And so I tried to do some searching. There's a whole number of internet sleuths, and I couldn't find anything to validate that. And I know people
It's not
lie a
true.
lot.
Not true. Right where the schools, actually, you would love it because it's actually three different buildings. It's one school.
Okay.
And my idea was at first, was when I first sat down at the table with him concerning the school called Reverend Moyer. Theo Gregory built the schools. Okay. And if you need his information, I can, and he still worked with children to this day.
Okay.
Um, my idea was because it was two separate buildings, that you had one building for the girls, one building for the guys, and then you had, the sports or whatever. But my idea was So the girls, so we can get back to some home economics.
Yes.
Those schools no more have sewing, how to cook,
Talk
how,
about it.
you know, how to be a woman. There is
That's
no
right.
school for that. And
Talk
women
about
and men by nature are going to attract to each other. This is
it.
just by nature. And
Yeah.
we have to learn how to be with the opposite sex and not have sex. In other words, I I
Yeah.
was telling him it might be a good idea to have one of the schools for the females and one of the schools for the males. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, teach them to be ready to deal with each other and the importance of the virginity part and everything, you know. But
Okay.
of course, every time somebody came up with an idea, the Nation of Islam, I mean, people was calling my phone left or right. Sister Freedom, have you talked to Dr. Umar? Electricians was calling my phone. Contractors was calling my phone because they all wanted to help. But every
Okay.
single time somebody wanted to help, they were turned down. No, I don't want to do this.
By
I don't
Dr. Umar, you're saying?
that's the, you know, the whole narcissist thing. I got this idea to do this, and it can't happen.
Hmm.
See, first, the schools are in an area where you would probably want to gate it in. You see what I'm saying? If you were going to have children spend the night, because the school that he was trying to say that he was having, you would have to pay to come to.
So is it a boarding school? Is that what it was supposed to be?
No, these were just schools for education. Because Theo
Okay.
Gregory built a school for education. He started in a trailer because I heard Jamar, he's
Lord
another
Jamar.
rapper or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Mhm.
telling him how his people started in a trailer. And that's exactly what Gregory started. Those schools were in a trailer until he made enough money to get those schools built. He
Yeah.
was the president of city council. So he had the backings and so many grants you can use to have had the schools built.
Sure.
I mean,
Mhm.
I just don't understand why. And I'm trying my hardest not to say anything rude because I don't want, him to take offense, like Sister Freedom talking about me in a negative manner. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to do is save the situation. Then I'm gonna tell you now, with all the stuff that's online, the disrespect, all the new things, nobody is going to help him here. And when I
That's what
say
I
that.
was guessing. Yeah.
And when you kept saying, I want to work with him, I'm saying, how can I get in touch with him to tell him, no, if you can find a way to get to schools, wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to just hang it up. If you can find a way to get to schools, if I can find some information, and I'm not trying to knock him out the box, but
Mhm.
it's pretty much done did it himself. No disrespect or nothing,
Sure.
because I already know that I don't want to, my Taurus energy, okay, want to stay with Taurus energy. And you know what I mean. You're a Taurus. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how this can work because I want it to stay in our hands. You see what I
That'd be nice,
mean?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
That'd
it
be nice.
was just if the schools are in a black neighborhood, and it's not just that I don't know if you know
Are they
Dr.
really
J,
in a black neighborhood?
they're in a black neighborhood. The
Because
schools
I
are in
I
a
only
black.
asked that because it seems like he was like suggesting that he doesn't trust the neighborhood. He's like, they left it in a low income neighborhood, and how you going? And it's just like, but this is the black
Well,
neighborhood, and you're doing this for the black people.
right. I mean, it's no different than nowhere else. I don't know why our own people put us down like that, but it's no different than nowhere else
Right?
than nowhere else. Because if a school is that, I never know anything about those schools being messed up until the schools were completely closed.
Yes.
You understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? But while the schools were in working, nobody was going into schools messing with the schools. But they
Yeah.
sat there for so long, I guess people just did whatever they did or what have you, you know what I mean? But if you really, 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 because I don't know how he can say no. I
That's
mean,
what I
you
was banking on. And to be honest with you, my goal was not to do a partnership with Dr. Umar, in as much as my observation of how he's conducted himself is he doesn't like other men to be involved in what he's doing. And I respect that. And so I didn't foresee that, and when I come along, I want to move at a fast pace. I want to get things done. I want to deliver. I want people to be able to sit back and like, like that's the one, like that's the guy. Like he said he's going to do it and he actually did it. That's my goal. And so I don't foresee that I'd be able to do that in partnership with Dr. Umar. So my actual goal was to simply acquire the building and then separately give education. And some of the things that you mentioned, I think we're on the same page with regards to home economics. And I also think females should know how to garden.
Young men, excuse me for interrupting you, Marquette. The young men, they need to get back. You remember when you was in school, right? The things that the youth men, they learned electricity.
They didn't have that when I was in school, but I also went to like a pretty crummy school.
But the plumbing and things of this nature, you can have people come in and donate time. They didn't even ask them for money. They want to come in and donate their time to be the big brothers that pay back the universe. You understand what I'm saying? We need sisters to go and teach these sisters how to make macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, fried chicken. I mean, the things that we need to teach them how to wash clothes, when to use cold water. When we need these things. So this was my vision of the schools. But every time you try to bring that's not my vision. Sister, I'm not going to do that. And this, that, and another. Even when he has events, none of the city council, none of them show up. I mean, you want this. You want to know that you got the backing of the city behind you.
Yes, I agree with you there.
So that's the reason why I was like, when you said you was going to help him and this, that, and another, I said, well, maybe if they know that somebody else is coming here with a strong mindset, they'll be like, okay, I like what this brother is saying. You know what I mean? The Nation of Islam, because they was always security. So even when he says that there's no security, that is not true. Because the Nation of Islam, which is only like blocks from the school, they had him. And because
there's a Muhammad mosque not too far from the school.
From the school.
Wow.
From the school.
That's a great aspect.
This place is right around the corner. The House of Reawakening Mind.
Yeah.
You touch the school from her building, and it's right there. Right behind, and right next door is a girls and boys club.
That's a pretty good location then.
Okay, that part.
Yeah.
So I don't want us to lose this school. And he had a mural painted on the school, which if you get to school, I don't know how long if that would even stay there.
No, that's gone. That's gone ASAP because it's assassin or nothing. Like we're not aligned in terms of our priorities and values. And when I buy that building, the building will not be his. It will not be associated with him at all. I have very clear priorities on what I want to get done, and I will get it done quickly. The only reason that mural would stay up is because taking it down would just be a matter of ego, and it's not a priority. I'm more so concerned with the inside of the building, which is where the students will actually be learning. So for me, I wouldn't even spend the money to get that mural painted over until there's excess in the budget. So I'll leave that up because I want the students to have a clean place to be. I want to make sure that the air is fresh in there, the HVAC is not pushing out mold and toxins, and we're going to get things moving. But I will say that I just want to make sure that we're being honest here. I don't want you to think that I have beliefs that I don't believe, that I don't have. So like you mentioned, like the Taurus thing, I'm not into astrology and things like that.